If you're a busy father or mother and you want to find new and fresh ways to pray specifically for your kids, then this video is really going to help you because I want to share with you just a new habit that I've gotten into over the last year that's helped me do just that, pray specific prayers over each of my kids. I've been married for almost 20 years. We have 3 daughters, and I used to feel so guilty as just a busy man in so many different areas of life that I was only praying generic prayers for my kids. Don't get me wrong, like praying any prayer is better than none at all. I was feeling more and more like I was not doing my job as the pastor and leader for my family by not praying specific individual prayers for each of my kids and for my wife. I wanted something that would be a very simple cue to remind me to do that on a daily basis. So here's what I do. It's really simple, and I want you to make it all the way to the end. This is a very short video because I want to share with you different ways you can customize this for you. So most mornings I wake up around 5:30. That changes in different seasons, and I don't always get up as soon as my alarm goes off. Sometimes it's 6, but I try to give myself at least like 30 to 45 minutes to go through my prayer rhythms. And once again, those rhythms are very different in different seasons of life. But right now I'll come out here to the table. This is our kitchen table. This is important to understand for what I'm about to tell you. We typically sit in the same seats for any meal that we do. Some people think that's really silly and that we're creatures of habit here at the Joy household, but it actually helps with what I'm about to tell you. But I usually sit here, and then Adley will sit in that seat, Liana in that seat, Sydney in this seat, and Ferris, my wife, over there. And then I guess that seat over there is the guest seat. My mom or my dad will usually sit there when they come over. But what I'll do is I'll come out and I'll sit in my usual seat at the table, and I will go through my prayer exercises. So if you want more info on what that looks like, maybe I'll do a whole other video on it, but it usually consists of some time of silence, reading through the scriptures. I'll do my gratitude journal. And right now I'm reading through N.T. Wright's Matthew for Everyone as like a devotional for me. And then I'll just journal what I feel like God's speaking to me. When I'm done with that, then I move into the prayers for my family. And so what that looks like is on Mondays, I will go over to Adley's chair and I will just pray a specific prayer for Adley. And then on Tuesdays, I'll go to Liana's chair. I'll pray for her. Then on Wednesdays, I pray for Sydney. And then on Thursdays, I pray for Ferris. Now, once again, I'm praying general prayers for my family pretty much every day. I'm not perfect on that, but I try to do that every day. But then I go deeper and more specific on one day for each of the members of my family. When I talk about praying general prayers for my family, what that typically looks like is God help them have a great day at school, or I might pray certain scriptures over them, asking that they be filled with the fruits of the Spirit today. So I'm praying those types of prayers over everybody, that they'll be filled with the Spirit, that they'll make good decisions, be filled with wisdom. But when I'm praying specific prayers, Sydney has cystic fibrosis. I'm praying that God heals her and continues to allow her to be healthy. I pray that God will bless her with her love for drama and acting, and maybe a specific play that she's in or an audition that she's about to go through. Or with Adley, she is an author. She loves to write. So I'm praying about the books that she's writing. Or with Liana, she's into writing songs right now. So I'm praying that God will bless her and her creativity, and maybe even praying about her boyfriend right now and their relationship. It all depends on what is going on in their life at the moment. But that's a bit of the difference between the general prayers that I pray and then the very specific prayers that I'll pray over them. And you notice there's 4 chairs that I'm praying for, 4 people that I'm praying for. There's 7 days in a week. So if I get off rhythm, it's easy to catch back up and make sure I at least hit everybody once a week. Here's why this can be helpful for you. These chairs serve as a prayer cue for me, that even if I don't do this in the morning, if I'm walking by during the day, I can still put my hand on these chairs and I can pray for that member of my family. I have a friend who does that walking by the doors of his kids' room, and he places his hand on the door. I want to challenge you to find a prayer cue that reminds you of each member of your family. It could be a chair, it could be a door, it could be anything that you see that reminds you of your wife or your kids, and let that be a trigger for you to pray for them. It could be a very regimented thing like this, where you're doing it one day a week for each person, or it could just be a reminder as you see it throughout the day to just say a very short prayer for that member of your family. But I believe when you start to lean into this, you're going to start to be even more aware throughout the day of how you can lead your family well, how you can love your family well, and how you can love each member of your family in the way that they need love that day. I think you're going to be more aware of how the Holy Spirit is prompting you to maybe be a bit more present with one of your kids or to ask a certain question and just sit there and listen. But as you pray for your kids, I believe you're going to see God use you in a new way as a parent. He's going to help you be more present. He's going to help you know how to intercede for them. And I think it's going to lead to something really beautiful in your family. So try this and then let me know if this works, or let me know if you have something that works really well for you. I'd love to hear about it. And like I said, if you want to hear more about different prayer practices, different ways that we try to keep God as the center of our family, we'd love to tell you more about that in another video. So thanks for joining us, and make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you back here soon.